Oh,
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dice Masters with James and Zach. I'm Zach.
and I'm James. Hello.
Hello. Um, with the release of the X-Men Forever box and accompanying team packs, which I have finally gotten, and it has made it to the sunny shores of Slovakia, we thought we would try out some in-set shenanigans, see what we could come up with, especially as it goes to theme teams, which has always been kind of a fun format that Dice Masters has been played in, I think.
If you haven't
More
seen
so.
our if you haven't seen our Avengers starters team, please go and have a look at that video. And this is a similar sort of thing, something to get you started just from what you buy in the packs without having to go back and dip into old stuff.
Yeah. So obviously, right off the bat, the low hanging fruit would just be like, let's do some heroes versus villains stuff, right? And so I've put together an X-Men affiliated team using some notable characters from the films mostly, in case you were sort of not familiar with the ins and outs of X-Men lore going back decades. And James has put together a villains team, and we'll just quickly go through the highlights of the team here. Um, I have got Professor X because you obviously have to have Professor X on the team. Um, he's got an interesting while active ability where I could gain life. We'll see if that works out. But he's also got a global that lets me prep sidekick dice from the use pile, which can be good for ramp later. Jean Grey, one of the original X Men. If my opponent fields a villain, I get to deal them a damage. And in this case, I know James is going to have to do that. So we'll try her out. Cyclops. My X-Men cost one less to purchase, and my non-Cyclops X-Men character dice get +1/+1. So a lot of cool like X-Men team synergy going on there. Wolverine, he admittedly isn't the best in this set, but he can deal damage to shield and mask characters, so that could come in handy. And then some of the other X-Men that we've seen featured, the Beast. Um, who is sort of a low cost, and he might do some direct damage if he KOs a blocking character die. Kitty Pride is going to help me purchase some of these expensive X-Men for cheaper because even without any kind of actions or anything, it's always helpful to be able to kind of get yourself to those expensive guys earlier. Iceman. He was definitely in some of the original X-Men movies. If he damages a character, then it can attack or block during the following turn. That can be really helpful. And then Sunspot was in one of the movies.
He was
Uh,
in Days of Future Past at the beginning.
that's the one, yeah. And he's got some good synergy where if James tries to target one of my X-Men with the global, then he'll take a damage. So for actions here, I really wanted to try out this dual defense, which seemed interesting, where you use it and then two of your characters sort of, if they block, they both block and they can't be knocked out. So it lasts until the start of your next turn, and seems like it can be really helpful in sort of keeping your opponent from doing stuff. And then this reinforcements one lets you try your luck at drawing sidekicks and fielding them. And with Professor X's ability, that seemed like it might be helpful. So we'll see what happens. What do you got, James?
Starting with the basic actions, I've got whoever assemble. It seems like my team is quite expensive because it was hard to find 8 villains who'd been in the films and didn't cost too much. So I ended up with no two costs. So I decided to have two cost basic actions, and this one gives a little bit of ramp. You choose an affiliation and field 3 character dice of that affiliation that turn, and if you didn't feel any, then you can prep a die from your bag. And Counter Strike has a global which allows you to prep a sidekick, so that bit of churn there. And you this one also is choose an affiliation and prep 1 die of that affiliation from your use pile. And it also says move all other dice of that affiliation from your use pile to your bag, so it might get things moving a little bit. And in terms of characters, like I said, hard to find familiar ones, but I think I managed it. We've got Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw, who was Kevin Bacon. They were in first class, I think. Magneto, obviously, everybody knows. Magneto very strong. Your Brotherhood of Evil Mutant character dice get +1 attack, +1 defense for each different active X Men character. So hopefully that could be a killing blow for me. Um, these two are both Wolverine's enemies. He was in Origins, and she was in something else, I think. Uh, they both got
X2, I
Overcrush.
believe.
Was it? Uh,
X2 back in the day.
there you go. They've both got Overcrush, and they've got a couple of other abilities. Toad is just vanilla, and he costs 3. I needed some cheap cards. Blob is pretty good. He costs 3, and he's got Intimidate, which he can only use on sidekicks, and he uses it on all sidekicks, and he gets a buff for each one that is intimidated out. So that might be good against walls. And Mystique gets +2 attack and defense for each different active non-Mystique Brotherhood of Evil Mutants character. So that could be, for 3, that could be quite powerful. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
we'll
to
see.
playing it.
All right, as is tradition, action or energy, James?
Ooh, I will take action, please.
And it's action.
Yay.
Using my brand new out of the box basic action dice here from X-Men Forever.
Nice. I'm going to go first.
All
And
right.
I'm right in thinking that the Professor X Global is a Professor X Global. I can spend a mask to.
Once during your turn, you may prep up to 2 sidekick dice from your use pile.
Oh,
So
it's during my
it's
turn,
time.
so
Oh, yeah.
no point keeping masks in that case. Then I shall
No.
buy one of my 3 costs, I suppose. I will have. They've all got pretty shonky defense, haven't they? Okay, let's have a Mystique, which is a nice card. There you go. Pass turn to you.
All right. Anyone keeping track? This is the 3rd Professor X Global to make it into sort of viability. Ooh. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to field a sidekick and pay 3 for a Kitty Pride because I'd like to buy some of those expensive ones.
Oh,
Pass to you.
okay. Wow. 2 sidekicks. So once on my turn, I can prep 2 dice with that mask, should I choose
Yeah.
to? Might not be the worst idea.
The Counter Strike Global. Prep a sidekick from the use pile for a generic. That's interesting. But it's once during your turn.
I think
So
I'm
it would
going
only
to
be a
go.
sidekick.
I'm going to go with a whoever assemble because I brought it and I should use it, right? Or
Sure.
is Counter Strike better? Choose an affiliation. I'm sure the timing on that will screw me, so I'll have that. And I will also use
Oh, Counter Strike is good.
Professor X, and I'll fill that, and I'll pass turn to you.
All right.
I'm assuming Professor X is a mask. Yes, must be.
He is a mask, yes. Yeah, they didn't change up the energy of the character and the energy of the global this time. God, I really want to try Counter Strike, although I don't have any characters to take advantage of it yet. Okay, so I'm going to use a mask to do the Professor X Global as well. I'd like to do that, and then I think I am going to. I think I'll pay 2 for a beast, and then I'll use a generic to do the Counter Strike Global to prep another sidekick.
Nice.
And I don't get to reset my bag, but that's still interesting. All right, pass
Okay.
turn.
I'm going to fill up my bag with those things. Cool. I'll do it on camera. There we go. So we should do it. 2, 3, and more. Ah.
Ooh,
Okay.
already?
She's not hugely impressive without some other
No,
characters in the
so she
film.
gets +2/+2 for every non-Mystique Brotherhood of Mutants. But not every one of your characters is Brotherhood of Mutants. So
No, most of them are. Only Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw are not.
if you could reroll that psychic, you could buy a Magneto, and that would help out.
Either Magneto or Sabretooth, I was thinking. Yeah, which I can. So I'll feel her for free.
You got to go for Magneto, right? I was really
Um,
hoping to be able to buy Professor X next turn between Kitty Pryde and all the energy.
okay, let's say since this is X-Men versus Brotherhood of Illegal Mutants, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Yes, I will buy Magneto because that's what it
But
is.
also just in general, right? She'll get +2/+2, and then if I field an X-Men, she'll get additional buffs, right?
Yes.
Because she's a Brotherhood of Mutants.
Right.
Okay. So, ooh, I pulled both my X-Men. That's pretty cool. Not so great if you're just gonna get buffed, I guess. Ooh, that helps a lot. And then, um, I've got 5 energy here. So then if I field her, non-Kitty Pride X-Men character dice cost 2 less to purchase until the end of turn. So I can spend 3 energy on a Professor X and 2 energy on anything that costs 4 or lower.
Doesn't he cost
So I guess I
4?
can.
Is she -3 or -2?
Oh, sorry. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. -2. I don't know why I keep thinking that. Maybe because of Kree Captain. Um. Okay. So I'll field Beast and I'll field Kitty Pride, and then I can buy Professor X for 4. So I should. So we'll do that. And then I can't do much with it. So I guess what I'll do is I'll buy another Beast because he costs 2 less, but
Yeah,
minimum 1.
cool.
And then I'll pass priority,
Oh,
but
got
I
nothing.
will attack with both Beast and Kitty Pride.
What do they do?
So Kitty Pride just has the when fielded ability that I use, but Beast, if he KOs a blocking character die, you take a damage.
Oh,
He's a
oh.
2/3.
I will block Kitty and I will let Beast through.
Okay, so Kitty will stay in the field, and you'll take 2 damage. All right, your turn.
Just do the scores. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Okay. So it begins. Right.
I kind of like the coloration on these Beast dice.
3 in the bag. I don't know. I don't think the timing on that whoever assembles quite right, but hopefully it'll be more useful. Ooh, maybe it was. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's 5 because I had one knocked out.
Yeah. You won't have anything to put in your bag. I guess you could buy something though. Yeah.
No, this is the whoever assemble, not the Counter Strike.
Oh, I think on Counter Strike. Yeah, yeah.
It would be
I
good
haven't
if he
memorized
rolled,
all of
wouldn't it?
these
Come on,
actions yet.
come on, Eric.
Oh, but if you don't field any characters, you get to prep, so that's at least pretty good.
Yeah,
I
come
like
on,
that
Eric.
sort of second chance at a good effect.
Yes, and he rolled on his highest
Oh, dang.
face. Yes.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
so whoever assembled, choose an affiliation character. Well, obviously Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and they're free to field. Look at that. Okay, use that first. Field for free.
Well,
I
on your
like.
team, though, you could pick villains, and then it would affect everybody,
Yeah,
right? I mean, it
right.
doesn't matter this turn,
That is
but
absolutely true.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yes. Look, I've just. Oh, brilliant. I like that. So what does she
What
get?
are you
She
gonna do with your 3 energy?
so she is now three
Plus
three
2,
plus whatever's on
plus
your
another
side.
1,
So
right?
4. She's a 4/4.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. With my other energy, I should. Okay. Can't prep anything because there's nothing there, so I should buy more Buy more characters, right? Should we go for a toad or a blob? Um, I think we'll go with the blob. Why not?
Might as well go with the one with the ability, right?
Yeah, right.
Less attack, though, I guess.
Um, and she's when fielded, so she. Yeah, okay. I will just pass turn. I think.
All right. I will draw 2 dice and then refill. Gotta remember how to be efficient with my HXGs. We gotta come up with a good acronym for this one. Is it just PHXG?
Because it's half of what it was, right? And it's on your turn, which is a bit sucky. That's good.
Well, if it was, yeah, well, once during your turn, that's just exactly the same as Professor X or as a Heimdall. Um, but there was sort of an art to using Heimdall well with keeping track of how many dice are in your bag and everything.
I'm liking
I'm
having
kind of out of practice at this point.
Magneto and Mystique in the field. I think it's appropriate.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll. Just now that you have Blob. Okay, well, we've got another sidekick, but I do have. Oops, that was a question mark. We have 4 energy here. I mean, I think that's just gonna have to be an Iceman because maybe I can prevent you from being able to block or attack. All right,
Okay.
pass turn.
I've just got sidekicks, I think. So for those, I have to remember all the globals I can do. Ooh, sidekicks. Alright. I want to buy stuff. I particularly want to. Those sidekicks are not a bad thing
No, I'm
necessarily.
worried about my bag rotation, but hopefully next turn I can do some prepping.
This is a generic 2 prepper. Once you're in prep a psychic die formula used by. Well, why not? So Professor X from my used prep a psychic die. So I'll prep a psychic die with a generic energy, and I'll fill those two.
Wow, nice.
Pass to you.
All right. I feel like I like the threat of Kitty Pryde here. Like, you don't really want to attack with your 4 attack character because I'd love to be able to refield her.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, I'd love a Jean Grey or a Cyclops, but I definitely need to start doing some cycling here. What could I do with these 3 bolts, though?
Iceman.
I could get Counter Strike. Where I already have an Iceman.
Oh, have you? Not paying attention.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I don't have enough sidekicks in here to use Counter Strike Global as well, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, I'm going to use that to do the Professor X Global, and then I'm going to pay 2 for one of your Counter Strike dice.
Sure.
But sadly, I don't think I have anything to do with this one bolt. I should have rerolled it. Okay. So I think that's it. And pass turn.
Okay. I've got one in the bag, and I'm going to put those in and take 3 of them. I like this. We got ramp going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I got my most expensive character on turn 3.
Hum. Okay, nice of that roll. So I've got to buy other stuff, right? I want to buy more Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, ideally. Ooh, save 2 would be nice. That's 5. If that rolled. Let's try that. Oh, it's gone off camera, but I assure you, it's there.
Okay. Double burst.
Oops. Sorry,
That
viewers.
you actually need that for your fielding cast, don't you?
Yeah, there we go. So I use that. I'll field in for free, and I'll intimidate all your sidekicks.
So I got 2 sidekicks there, so he's going to get +2 attack.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. So he's on 3 attack just from that. I'll buy. We'll come to the attack phase in a minute, but I think I'll buy Sabretooth because I like the idea of Sabretooth. I've got fists, so that's okay. And then I should probably attack, shouldn't I? Well, you're gonna. Are you in a buying mood? Yes, you are in a buying mood, but still, damage is damage.
Yep.
So now I've got 3. This is going to get complicated. Now I've got 3 of those, so they all get.
They all get
included.
+1/+1 for every different X-Men character, but I've only got 1 X-Men character, so they're only getting 1.
Okay, so I got. Okay,
So
that's 1.
Mystique is still a 4 attack, but so is Blob,
No,
and I guess he buffs himself.
she's not. She's got
Oh no,
plus
because
2
she
for
gets
each.
+2. Yeah. So
So
she's getting +4/+1. So she's 5 extra. So she's a 6 attack.
she's a 6 with a chunky defense as well. 6
Yeah.
5 is it? No, 6 6 6
Yeah,
6
6/6.
because you've got 1 X-Men and I've got 2 of those, and he's going to be
So he intimidated 2, but he's also
2,
getting +1. So he
3,
should be
4,
3/9.
4. No, you've got 2 sidekicks. Gives him a 3, and 1 from Eric gives him plus more. What is his 4
Yeah,
9?
sorry. Yeah.
So that's 4 and 6. Well, let's attack.
Yeah. um. God, I'm tempted to leave Blob in the field so he can't just use Intimidate again.
Be
That
my
would mean I
guest.
would be taking 6. I mean, how would you get him out of the field?
I'll buy another die.
Well, he has that. I don't really want to take 6, but she's just going to keep getting stronger anyway. All right, I'll block Blob.
Yep.
And I'll take 6 damage.
6. Boom. Brilliant.
And then I get my sidekicks back. All right. 2 in the bag. Professor. The professor's going to come out and we're going to get stronger from there. All right. And a counter strike. Ooh. Okay, so I got to pay to field her, but then I'm going to get a discount. I'll get able to prep a die with that affiliation from my used pile. So I really don't want to pay fielding costs on Professor X. But now that I've taken damage, I wouldn't mind the life gain here. Yeah, he's not going to
Ah,
cooperate anyway.
Professor.
All right, so we'll pay one and we'll field Kitty Pride. And now all my X-Men cost 2 less, so I will pay um I will pay 3 for a ooh, gosh, do I want to get Jean Grey and start pinging you every time you field a villain, of which you
Yes.
have many?
Yes, do that.
Or do I want to get Cyclops and make my X-Men blanket one less to purchase and give +1/+1 to all my other? I think I'm gonna go for Jean Grey
Jean Grey.
instead and do
Yeah.
some damage. Um, and then I will use Counter Strike and I will choose an affiliation, X-Men, prep one die of that affiliation from your use pile, move all other dice of that affiliation from your use pile to break. So do I also want to buy the last beast die?
Yes.
It would only cost me one, I suppose, but I
What
don't know
else
how to
can
do
you
the
do
other
with it?
energy. Yeah, okay, so I'll buy the last beast die. So I'll prep Jean Grey, and then I'll put beast into my bag.
Good. Well, you could
And
have
then I
bought
have an
another kit.
extra.
You could have got another Kitty Pride, or is it
No,
non-Kitty?
no, because she
Ah,
specifically only
okay,
discounts non-Kitty Pride X-Men.
gotcha.
So anyway, yeah, good call though. If only that worked. Okay, and then I've got a mask. Oh, well, past turn.
Okay. Bag is, I guess, got one. Get that
It's like this thrill of discovery. I haven't gotten to play with any of these cards yet.
out. Just for the viewers, my image is reversed. It's mirrored because the Logitech software stopped working with the webcam. So just in case you are a beginner, I've got the use part of the prep area the wrong way around. That's not obvious. My eye's just adapter anyway. Okay, that die is not going to be much use.
Yeah,
My
but you
brain.
still get to prep a die if it rolls,
That's
so
true.
that's like a good backup there.
Yeah, I might settle for that.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a bunch of stuff in the bag coming through. I think Mystique worked out pretty well. Should we get some more of those? Counter Strike Global is on. Are they all on our turn? Right? They are.
Well, that one has to be from your used pile, so you don't have any sidekicks in used anyway.
But if it wasn't on my turn, then.
But Counter Strike does say once during your turn, so yeah.
But if it was also on your turn, then I would be able to use it later. I would keep the energy for it. You don't
No,
have any.
once during your turn, so you
I,
would be able to use it on my turn anyway.
I got you. But if it didn't say
Oh yeah, yeah.
that, I might re-roll that because I fancy a bit of ramp and the right number of dice there. And or that, or I buy something that costs 5. I've got Magneto. I should buy more characters, right? Because it's thematic. No, I will
Yeah.
try. I will try and re-roll
I mean,
them.
none of mine have rolled except for Kitty Pride in a while, so.
Okay, so in the interest of theme, normally I would just buy another Mystic, but I'll buy a Toad because he's cool,
Cool.
and I will use that. I didn't field anything. I wonder if you can use it. I imagine you can use it after you fielded it. No, what does it say? That's the wrong one.
Um,
If
at
you
the
did
end of
not.
turn, if you
Oh,
did not field any characters
okay.
this turn, prep a die from your
But I
bag.
did
So that would
not.
actually be like after the attack step, even.
Prep 1. Oh, after. Yeah, okay, let's do it after the attack step. Because I might yet attack. No, okay. I'll pass turn to you, which means I get to prep a die.
Sure. I can't do anything with this one mask, I don't think, on your turn. So, all right. Let's see. I've got a bunch of beasts in my bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 2 of them. I want to get this Jean Grey out as early as possible. Ooh, and
There
she
she
does
is.
roll. Ooh, but I don't have
Nice.
the energy for it.
Check out your characters.
So I think we're gonna go ahead and roll these 2 just to see if we can't help guarantee that. Ooh, just barely. Can't field that though. So we'll pay 2 to field Jean Grey, and we'll pay 0 to field Beast there. Now that you have Blob out, Beast is not nearly as good. You could just keep blocking him. And what's the defense on your Magneto there? Something insane, I'm sure.
Same as Blob.
Oh, 8? Jeez.
Well, actually, what is it? 9, 10, 11 now that you've got those 3 characters in.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's a good thing that I got three, and I can start picking up sidekicks maybe. Okay, all right. Well, I can't field beast, so he'll have to go there. And wish you'd come up with a mask so I could have done some prepping, but I guess not. All right, I think I'll have to stay there on my attacks and let you field some villains. Go for it.
I'll try my best. I think I've just got 4 in the bag. Guess I prepped one last time. So I've got 2 potential villains coming up. Both of them Brotherhood. Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
Ooh, fielding cost though. Look at that. Now I needed that whoever assembled. Okay,
Yeah, it's
well,
always tough, but
how can she possibly have a 2 fielding cost? Well, I suppose she does get
well,
beast.
she's gonna be like a.
A beat
How big is she
stick.
gonna be?
She's going to be
Two,
big.
4, 6 plus 7, 8, 9. So she's like a 10-10. So I don't think you can complain too hard about her two
So,
fielding
as
guys.
so I'm fielding them as she comes into the field. Just because this might be a ping issue.
No, no, you take the damage, not the
Oh
die.
right, okay, all right. So I
So you're
take
gonna
2.
take 2 damage for fielding 2 villains.
Right.
And everything I think does have, yeah, the villain affiliations.
Magneto has very much just said Brotherhood to me. But that's Red Skull, isn't it? Sorry. Cabal to me. Right now, it's just a question of working out how much attack they have. So, so you've got 3 characters. Is it distinct
Yes.
characters?
Yeah,
Active
3
characters.
distinct X-Men.
3. So that's 3 from Magneto, and that's all of them because they're all Brotherhood. Um, Blob doesn't get any other buffs. He's got. He gets +1. Sabretooth gets +1, so he's got 4 +4. If I have another active Brotherhood character, which I certainly do, and Mystique gets just massively buffed ridiculously. So I think I might be attacking with those. So she's got +6, +9. So she's 10, I think. She
Yeah, I think that would, yeah.
is slightly overpowered. I'm sorry, Zach. I didn't
For what,
quite
a
mean to say.
three cut? Well, it doesn't have overcrush, and you don't have a way instead of giving it to her. So
No, that's true. But
you're
he
sort
does.
of just hoping that my guys just don't roll back if you're just aggressive enough.
I'm going to pass priority to you, firstly.
I got nothing. I got
And
nothing to
then I'm
do.
going to attack with these 2, and I'll just check. So Sabretooth does have Overcrush. He gets +1
Yes.
from his own abilities, which is 4. And then he gets another +3 from Magneto's
Yeah.
ability. So he's 6. 7, 6. And she is 10, I think. 6,
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, she's like 10,
So
10.
he gets +3 defense as well with Magneto. Okay, so
So he's 7, 6, and she's 10, 10, if I'm doing that right.
yeah, jeez. Well, if I block with Kitty Pride and Beast, that's still only 5 attack and 6 defense. Um, okay. I'm gonna block uh Mystique with a sidekick,
Yeah,
and I think we'll block Sabretooth with all 3 of those. And
right.
that's 7 defense and 6 attack. So we'll kill him, and I'll take no overcrush damage.
Yes, I believe that's correct. If we've done all those calculations right, and she comes back,
And the math
and
is getting kind of hardy.
it is actually
All right.
your turn.
Okay, Iceman and Beast. See, this is what I need is Iceman so that I can start blocking, and then you can't block on the following turn or something.
Uh-huh.
Or attack, I guess, on the following turn. All right, let's see how good of a deterrent he actually is. Although I may need more than one of him. Ooh, look at all the characters. Um, I think I'm okay with this. So that's a what 3 fielding cost across the board. Well, that seems no, just 2 fielding cost. What would I do with just 1 energy? Man, this global on Counter Strike, I'm cycling through my bag enough that it's kind of frustrating.
How much fielding do you have to? One.
Just these 2 have a 1 fielding.
It's a 0. Okay, good.
So then this is 0, 0, 0. Yeah. So I feel like I should re-roll to see if I can get a sidekick, but now I'm gonna get screwed. Let's see what happens. No, it's not so bad. Okay, so we'll field a sidekick. Um, we will. I don't think I'm going to use Kitty Pride's ability here. We'll field. Gosh, maybe I should have re-rolled that. We'll field Beast. We'll field Iceman, and we'll field the other Beast. We'll field Kitty Pride. and I'm out of beast dice to purchase. Um, yeah, if I'd rerolled this into double energy, I could have bought a Cyclops or something.
Mhm.
That extra stats would have helped me with all this overcrushing going on. Yeah, it's all right. I think I can't do anything with the energy then. That's too bad. Pass turn.
Okay. So dice in the bag. Okay. Sure. Lady Deathstrike. Your turn.
Dang, easy. All right. Okay, let's see if I can't get some ramp here, and maybe a Professor X. I need the life gain. Oh, geez, this is the wrong time for a Counter Strike to come out. Well, maybe that's what I need, though. I would like a bolt. I need some more blockers. Okay, but I've got a sidekick. I've got ramp and ramp. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do that. I'm going to Professor X to do that. I'm going to do Counter Strike Global to do that, and then I'm going to buy a dual defense because that will help me against your massive Kais.
Blimey. Yeah.
See how well it actually works. Yeah, I think I need to keep my field here in case you got Overcrush. All right, pass turn.
That's those four.
This is starting to
Yes.
feel really Wally, but maybe that's what you've got Blob and Overcrush and
Yeah, very,
Sabretooth for.
very woolly. That's all right. Yep, probably got another blob. I think I'll fill that, and I'll buy another blob, and I'll use that. And then at the end of the turn,
Right.
it's going to get woolly with that Iceman. What's his ability?
When he damages a character die, that character die cannot attack or block during the following turn.
Uh-huh.
So if you attack and I block with him, then that means the character that he blocked can't block on when I attack.
Sure.
But it's not going to shut down your attacks really,
No.
unless you were somehow block him on my turn.
Well, in the interest of not horribly walling, as we're on half an hour, I'm just going to attack with Mystique, right? Oops. And she must
Um,
have a decent buff, I would think. So if it's X-Men characters, you've got now four. Oh, no,
yeah, I think I'll just block her with Kitty Pride, and I'll
right,
get the see if I
sure.
get the Winfielded going
I
again.
guess she's not going to get knocked out because.
Yeah, with just the two attack there, probably
Yeah, so
not.
she can't attack
Okay,
next
but then
turn
you prep a
and
die.
can't block. What
No,
do
no,
I?
that I blocked with Kitty Pride, not X, about
Oh, right, okay, sorry. All right,
Iceman. So
and then I get to
you're
refill
fine.
the bag at the end of turn. But these must still be in transition, I assume. That's a good question.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
How do you want to play it?
I wish I knew the timing on that better.
If you did not fill any characters this turn, prep at the end of the turn. They must surely still be in transition. I'd have thought, but that's a good question.
So end of turn feels like it would happen after the cleanup step, though, right?
Okay, let's play it like that. That's
Yeah,
a
I think that
question for Paul.
end of turn sounds like it's pretty final.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Go for it. I thought I'd been all
It's
clever
weird
with.
timing on that. I don't know if I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Three in the bag, and then I'm gonna draw one more here, and it's a counter strike. Let's see how this goes. Come on, Professor. There we go. God, two fielding costs though. Okay, I got my third beast. I got a Kitty Pride. So after paying two fielding cost, oh man, I don't have enough to purchase the Cyclops. Okay, so I'm gonna re-roll this, and it's gonna come up energy. No. So prep one die of that affiliation from your use pile. So if I didn't field something, and then during the attack step I used Counter Strike, I could just prep that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's kind of interesting to think about. Okay, I'll field beast. I've got a beast of every level. I'll even put him in level order here for you. And then I will field Kitty Pride. That gives me a discount of 2, so I might as well buy an Iceman. I will pay 2 to field Professor X. Oh, I can buy Iceman, so then I'll just prep Iceman with Counter Strike. Um, that's a big old wall I've got there. I will. Gosh, if I attack with all three of my beasts, then you can just. You don't even have to have them take any damage.
Come on, you got to attack.
I know I
Can't
got to do
sit there with a
something.
massive field.
All right, I'm gonna attack with 3 beasts and an Iceman.
Ooh. Okay. Um, when Beast KO is a blocking character dice, so I'll block with my biggies, the beasts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's Iceman's? What's their attack actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 2,
And Iceman's attack is
3. So all of your big guys are completely
1,
safe
2,
from all
3,
of my
4,
guys.
5, 8. Well, in the interest of a fun game, I am going to let them through.
So you're gonna take what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a lot going into my bag. Wish I'd
Oops.
saved Counter Strike. Now that I think about it. Oh no, it would be too late. Never mind.
Oops.
Never mind. Never mind. It would go
I
into
took
the end of
8, right? So I should be on 7. Is that right?
the turn.
Let's back at the scores.
You haven't taken that much, have you?
I think I did.
You took like 1 or 2 from fielding. Oh, I guess you let through a beast early though, didn't you?
Yeah, let's say it's that. I don't know. Sorry, everybody, if I just messed the scores up, it's entirely possible. I think I did.
Were
Like,
you down to 15 already?
I had me on 15 and you on 14. I think it's okay. We could,
That seems right. Maybe.
if it's not, I apologize.
I think you took 2 from beast, and then maybe you fielded 3 villains. Maybe I don't know.
Not to worry. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I've definitely fielded 2 villains, so it's within 1 point of the way score, I think.
All right.
Uh, and you're going to lose your sidekick, so you're going to have 3 blockers.
Yeah, this seems like it's not going to go so well. Do all of your blobs, or probably just the blob that intimidated gets the buff?
That's a question. It says Blob gets +1. Yeah, it's not clear, is it? Not at all clear that. Blob gets +1 attack for each sidekick character die affected by Blob's intimidate ability. At no point does it say that Blob die, so I don't know.
That feels like one of those ones where it's sort of like the implication is that it's the die, but it
Yeah,
does. Yeah, it is written in where you could sort of see it either way. Huh.
weird. Okay, so I will be. Who already knows? Okay, good. Fine, I have a sidekick. I'll fill those with 1.
Ooh,
Got
that's
math.
got to be lethal.
You thought, you think?
Well, okay, you stole 2 of my sidekicks, so at least there's that. But I've got 3 different X-Men out.
Okay, let's do the math. Okay, so your sidekicks are gone.
So if I block Mystique and uh
Whew. So the sidekicks are
and
going to go through.
Sabretooth,
Mystique must be the
yes,
biggest one would
yeah,
assume.
so I have to block her.
He's also big.
And your Sabretooth has the same stats that he had last time, right? He's still like a
No, I think
6, 7.
he's a bit less. Okay, this is well complicated. Okay, but let's just assume that those are the biggest.
Well, but I gotta block Sabretooth because he's got Overcrush. But I don't think he has more than 7 attack, and so I can block him with Professor X.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to block him. Depends. But so you've got 3 characters, which means that Magneto is giving all of these +3/+3. At least one of the blobs gets another +2 from 2 sidekicks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it's one of them. So he's going to be.
Oh my god. So +5, +3.
This one's 6, 8. This one is, let's say, 4, 8.
Yeah.
Can you remember this? 6, 8,
Yeah, yeah.
4, 8. I can't remember. And
And
he
then
is going to
Sabretooth
be
is a 7, 6 because he gets the extra +1 for his own ability.
4, 7, 6. That's right. And
And
then
then
I've got 4
Magneto himself
sidekicks.
gets +3.
I imagine they would be the biggest, so you probably have to block those, I would think.
So I'll block those plus Sabretooth. And I'll take 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 4 is 14.
which is exactly
That's
what you
lethal
want.
though, right? Yeah. Dang.
I think let's.
Ugh.
Can we just check that? So that's those. You block him, and he won't do any damage.
I'll block.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
six.
think I have to block Sabretooth and the other two big ones. Yeah,
I think that's probably right.
and I can block Sabretooth with a 7 defense. I'm not taking Overcrush there, and I'll
Yeah.
just take nothing from the other ones. So
So
yeah,
he's definitely one of them is definitely plus six, a total of six, and the other one is definitely a total of at least four. So that's 10.
that's
That's
yeah, it's
at least
easily
40.
14. Yeah,
Phew.
dang. That Magneto feels like it should be a 6 cost at a 5 cost. I mean, you have to build your team very specifically, but
He,
that's really good.
well, you have to build your opponent's team very
Yeah,
specific.
true. Yeah, God, in format though, right? Or as a draft or something, that would be crazy good.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
I was hoping to get a couple of chances for like you to KO my sidekicks, and I'd get to gain life and maybe extend it a little bit. But
to be clear, if I hadn't goaded you into attacking, then you could have just sat there and whittled me down point by
well, yeah, but
point.
that would have just been forever. I don't think I would have won it eventually in that case. But I mean, my only real pings at that point would have been Jean Grey and just hoping I can get through. But
I had
yeah,
I had a Lady Deathstrike coming as well. She's even bigger, and I get to gain life. Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
gain. I always want gain life to be a thing. I love that in Magic the Gathering. I wish it was a bigger thing in Dice Masters. But anyway, yeah, wow. If you are brand new to the game of Dice Masters or getting back into it, and you saw the X-Men Forever box, here are, I think, with the exception of Sunspot, which I got from the Dark X-Men Team Pack, but I never even bought him anyway. A couple of teams that you can make using some of the well-known characters that are in there, and there's plenty of other ones besides if you wanted to swap out for some of the characters in the box as well.
And I think the moral of the story is if you want to have fun with the team packs and the campaign box, be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Anyway,
Throw
thanks everyone
caution
for
to the wind.
watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.